So today, something a little bit different. This here is a pepperoni burger with mascarpone, basil and lemon. Yes, you heard that correctly. This burger is insane. And I'm gonna show you how to make it right now. So let's do it. Right guys, so our mascarpone and pepperoni burger. This is an interesting little combination of flavors that is rarely found in a burger. Just something I thought of randomly out the blue and I gave it a go, and it is actually very tasty. I'm gonna resist the urge to call this an Italian burger. It uses a lot of Italian ingredients, but it's just a burger using mascarpone and a few other little bits and bobs. It's meaty, creamy, it's got some vibrancy, a bit of lift with the lemon and herbs we're gonna be using. But that's enough rambling. Without further ado, let's do it. The first ingredients, and kind of the star of the show for this one, is our mascarpone cheese. This we're going to be preparing, infusing it with some herbs and lemon to give it some great vibrancy, to kind of cut through the richness of this cheese, which acts almost like a sauce for our burger. So let's crack on. So once we've got into our mascarpone, we just want to dump it out into a mixing bowl. Nice, thick, creamy and delicious, really versatile mascarpone. You can use it for desserts, you can use it for pasta, and you can use it apparently for a burger. So there we go, that's the mascarpone. Next is a lemon. And we're going to want a microplane. So all we're going to do is zest our lemon into the mascarpone, being careful not to get any pith in there, as that is a little bitter. So work your way around the lemon, nice gentle strokes. There we go, that is the zest in there. That is perfect. And along with the zest, we're just going to add a little dash of juice. Don't go mad. We just want to cut off a corner. There we go. And just add a little squeeze. Again, not too much. Just a little dash in there. And we're going to pop this to one side just for a second. Keep your knife, because we're going to prep some herbs. I've said it before, one of my favourite herbs of all time. We got some lovely basil. So we just want a small handful of the basil on our chopping board. A bit more than that. There we go, that should do us. We can always add more. Before we dice this basil, I'm just gonna explain now somewhat of a myth, or at least I personally think it's a little bit of a myth, and that is dicing basil with a knife versus tearing basil with your hands. Now the theory, what a lot of people assume, is that when you use a knife to dice up basil, it bruises it and it bleeds, and it's not as beneficial than if you tear the basil into a sauce or on top of a pizza, whatever the case may be. Now I do personally think this is somewhat of a myth. The reason is, what do you think is going to produce more bruising and bleeding of the leaves? These great big fat fingers, or the incredibly wafer thin precision blade of a good kitchen knife? So yeah, I personally think that fingers tearing it produces a lot more bruising. You're literally ripping and shredding it all apart. So I tend to go with a knife. Just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you wish, but this is basically just the way that I do it. But the caveat to that is you want to use a really good quality sharp knife. You want to bring all of the basil together, and we want to essentially be pretty quick and pretty efficient. So don't squish the basil too much when you do this. And we just want to do it nice and quick and efficient. There we go, bring it together again. We do want this a little bit finer. Don't compress it with your fingers. So there we go, nicely diced. And most importantly, as you can see on the chopping board there, there's not a lot of like green residue left behind. So in theory, all the flavour and all the goodness is still within our basil. So next, we want to add this basil to our mascarpone. So there we go, we've got basil, mascarpone, a little lemon zest, a little lemon juice. Next, you want to add a little pinch of salt, a few twists of black pepper, and we're going to give this a little mixing up. So we have a nice creamy, citrusy, herby mascarpone cheese. Kind of fold it as much as you can. Obviously at this point, squishing the herbs a little bit is not so much of an issue because it's in the cheese as we speak, so nothing is really like lost. We're not going to be squishing all the flavour out onto a chopping board. It's all there within the bowl, but mascarpone is thick, so inevitably you're going to squish a little bit. There we go. Don't overwork it, but make sure everything is nicely mixed and nicely incorporated. That is very tasty. So good. So good. So that there is our nice zesty herby mascarpone cheese. This is now ready to go. So we're going to make our burger patties. But first, something else we do want to do. We'll do it now so it's ready. We want some chive. So there we go. Bunch your chives together. And we want these as fine as you can get them pretty much. So take your time, get them really nice and fine. These add a great oniony kind of element to the burger, just to give it another layer of flavour. So there we go. Chives, really nice and finely diced. These are going into a bowl. And these are going to finish our burger as a garnish. Smell of freshly diced chives is lovely. So there we go, like I said, into a bowl. And now we're going to make our burger patties. Right, so now on to probably the most important part of making a burger, and that is the burger patty itself. So here I have some beef mince, which contains 20% fat, 70% lean, 20% fat, and that is the most important factor when making a burger patty. You can basically buy your beef mince from a supermarket. You can get 20% fat beef. You can buy it as the cuts of meat and grind it yourself. Or what I tend to do, because I do have an amazing local butcher who is also a pretty good cook himself, I will basically just tell him what I want. He'll grind it up for me, vac pack it. I just turn up and get a nice prepped beef mince. Whatever you choose to do, you do yourself. It depends on what you're doing with your burgers, who you're cooking for, the occasion, how quickly you need it, and other factors like that. So here we have 20% beef mince, ground for me by my butcher. I believe there is a bit of everything in here. I think there's some short rib, brisket, and a little rump, if I remember rightly. But point is, it's 20% fat. That is the key. That is the important part. So how do I go about making a burger patty? Well, incredibly easy. All I use is beef. No bread, no seasoning, no anything, just 100% beef. But a little trick, I use grease-proof paper. Take a sheet of grease-proof, fold it in half, lay it out like so, and I'm going to make the burgers today a little bit fatter. So essentially a smallish fist-sized amount of beef. Don't compress it too much, just gently roll it and shape it into a ball. That's the first step. Second, pop it onto the greaseproof, and then basically I just very sort of slowly and gently just start flattening it out, kind of shaping it as I go and sort of bringing it together but not compressing it all that much. We don't want a solid lump of beef at the end. You need those kind of little gaps and that texture to get a beautiful juicy burger. There we go, just work it, and again we want this one a little bit thicker, so keep going, gently pat and press it out. Once you've got your sort of your rough shape, just to kind of refine it a little bit, we're going to use the greaseproof. Something else that is very important, you want your burger to be about 2 or 3 centimeters bigger than your bun, because it will shrink in a little bit. There we go, keep flattening it out. We're pretty much there, but just to refine it a bit, particularly for the edges, we're going to fold that over, and then I kind of just pinch around the edge like this, and you'll see it works really well just to give you that nice sealed border almost, if you will. You'll see in a second this is going to literally be like the most perfect sized burger. So there we go, just work your way around and literally just press your fingers against the edge and kind of pinch it a little bit around the corners. Every now and again just kind of gently pat and flatten it out. And you can see the buns we're using for these brioche, so if you kind of hold it over, you can see that it's a little bit bigger. I may just make that slightly slightly wider, in fact. I think we are pretty much there. So the reveal, there we have it. Is that not the most perfect burger that you have ever seen? Absolutely spot on, ready to be seasoned, ready to be seared off, and ready to be eaten. So as you can see, we're talking 1-2 centimeters in thickness. So a nice meaty, substantial burger. Let's do this. So there we go, we have a frying pan on the hob. Start with the heat right down low. And to one side we have our burger patty ready, our meat there, pepperoni, butter, and we have our burger buns there ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fry off some of our pepperoni. So pan is obviously on a low heat. Drop in a few slices of the pepperoni. Now, the pepperoni is nice and fatty. However, we are going to give it a little helping hand. We just want to add a tiny little dash of olive oil. Barely anything, just the tiniest little dab there. Reason we're doing that is we're going to fry off our pepperoni, render out the fat, and then we're actually going to be toasting the buns in the olive oil, the pepperoni oils, and a little touch of butter. So layers and layers of flavour. So keep turning the pepperoni, and like I said, very slowly, very gently render out the fat. We basically want it cooked the way that it would be cooked on a pizza, if that makes sense. That's kind of the doneness we're looking for. And then all of that olive oil, pepperoni, oil, and the butter is going to beautifully toast off our brioche buns. It is going to be incredible. So really gently, you can see the slightest little sizzle there. Turn them every 30 seconds or so, and they'll start to sort of curl up a little bit as they're getting done. Look at all of that beautiful oil. All of that flavour is going to kind of soak in and toast onto the buns. So pepperoni is pretty much there. I'm going to give it another minute, I'd say, and then we're going to be good to go. Right, so that pepperoni is now done. There we have it. So we're going to get that out of the pan, pop it onto a plate just to one side. There we go. Beautiful, meaty pepperoni. So we have our olive oil and pepperoni oil in the pan. We're now going to add a good knob of butter. Move that butter around. We want it nice and foamy. We want our brioche burger buns in the oil and the butter. Look at that. We just want to get a nice toasting on our buns. Won't take long. Keep the heat low, keep checking your buns every couple of moments. We're nearly there. Toasting your buns off is really important with a good burger. It adds texture, a little crunchiness, bit of crispness. Also, it protects the bun from any meat juices, sauces, or anything like that, just so it doesn't go all soggy and horrid. So there we go, beautifully toasted. We are good to go. So we're going to get those out of there, and then it's time to sear our burger. There we go, perfectly toasted buns, nice and crispy, ready to go. So at this point, what we want to do is we do want to clean out this pan. We've soaked up all of that butter, oil and flavour onto the buns. We want this clean as a whistle and ready for the burger patty. So there we go, nice clean pan, back on the hob. Spatula at the ready, very important. We want that pan really nice and hot as if we were cooking a steak. We want to get a beautiful caramelization on the burger, a really nice crust, but we want the center to be nice and juicy and moist and delicious. No oil at all in that pan. We've got all the fat from the burger. We want to season the patty. Salt, freshly ground black pepper. Be nice and generous with your pepper. Hit it on both sides. Now lay in your burger patty. Very gently press it down. Don't squish it, but we just want good contact with the bottom of the pan. And I flip my burger patties basically every 30 seconds. We want to agitate it, build up a really nice crust, exactly the same way as you would cook a steak. Time for the first flip. And already look at that caramelization, a beautiful sear. Gently press that down. We want that good contact with the pan. Another 30 seconds and we'll be ready for flip number 2. All in all, this burger is probably going to take 3 to 4 minutes. As you can see, we got that caramelization pretty quickly. So we want this burger nice, juicy, pink, medium rare to medium, roughly. There we go, look at that caramelization. All of that beautiful colour equals flavour. You can see it's still really soft, so that's probably between rare and blue at this point, but we're getting a great caramelization. And I'm going to say another 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, and we're going to be at a perfect medium rare. So really not that long now, but as you can see, it's still very, very soft. You can still see some rawness around the edge. So by the time this is done, this is going to have the most incredible crust. That burger is going to be juicy and meaty and delicious. There we go. As you can see, it's starting to firm up a little bit. We can see it's kind of cooked all the way around. So at this point, we're probably just above rare, bordering on medium rare, roughly. For another minute, and we're going to be good to go. This is quite a thick burger, so we can afford to get a beautiful crust. We've got a little bit of cooking time to play with. Look at that deep, dark, golden brown caramelization. Getting a little firmer, still has a little springiness. I would say at this point in time, we're probably at a perfect mid-rare. You can see the juices starting to break the surface. This burger is going to be incredible. So that is it. We are good to go. Real dark, crusty, barky caramelization. That is going to be juicy and pink. So get out the patty, pop that to one side, and we want that now to rest for about 4 to 5 minutes, give or take, before we tuck in. So there is a delicious burger patty ready to go in our burger, but we have to let this rest. Very important just to let the heat and the juices within the burger patty to redistribute throughout the patty evenly. Just let it relax a tiny bit, and then we're going to be good to go. So let's put this thing together. First, we want to pop the base of the bun on the plate, and then next up, our basil and lemon infused mascarpone cheese. There we go, it's sort of melted and softened where it's been out of the fridge. So get on there with about a tablespoon and a half. Spread that out, absolutely perfect. Next, the burger patty itself. So lay that patty on the top. There we go, delicious burger bun, mascarpone, burger patty. And next, I'm going to add a heaped teaspoon of some red onion jam or red onion chutney, either or, basically the same thing. There we go, perfect. And next, what we want to do is add a nice grating of some Pecorino Romano cheese. So grate that over the top, that is going to do us. We want to kind of flatten that out a bit, because next, to finish our delicious burger, firstly, a good sprinkle of chive. You can be as generous as you like, depending on your preference for chives. There we go. So there we have it. Burger bun, mascarpone, burger patty, red onion chutney, parmesan, chives, and to finish this off, what we want is our pepperoni. So get on there with a nice few slices. There we go, job's a good one. Lastly, the lid to our burger. There it is. Just have a look at that. That thing is a beast, a real beast of a burger. Just look at those layers. So tasty. And I'm gonna give it a bash and get stuck in. Let's do it. Look at that. Let's give it a bash. That is so tasty. Juicy pink, meaty burger, creamy mascarpone, that pepperoni in there, and the onion, that is so good. That herbiness works well. Little hint of onion from the chive. Not like any burger I've tasted before. Perfectly pink, delicious. I've demolished that. So different and interesting, but incredibly tasty. That is so good. Meaty, creamy, herby, cheesy, crunchy, soft, gooey. Everything you want in a burger. That was incredible. Find the recipe on my website, thewckchannel.com. I'm gonna go and wash my hands and my face, like and subscribe. Head over to my website again to find the recipe. Also, sign up to my weekly newsletter in the link in the description below. I'll send you out all the recipes each and every week, plus I have a contact for you, so any problems I'm able to reach out and get in touch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.